So this is module number 7, bathroom and their fixtures. So the introduction for this subject is the toilet is a sanitation fixtures used for the disposal of human urine and feces. A bathroom is a room for personal hygiene activities, generally containing a minimum a toilet and a wash basin. A bathroom is also contain a mirror, may also contain a mirror, a bathtub, or a shower, and possibly also a bidet. A fixed receptacle in which a person may urinate or defecate, typically consisting of a large bowl connected to a system for flushing away the waste into a sewer. The process of washing oneself, dressing, and attending to one appearance. So there is also possibly a closet. So a bathroom often incorporates some of other sort of dressing room arrangement, so, or a closet. It can be sometimes as simple as a small closet attached to a bathroom, or more likely an area that is either attached or leads to a bathroom. Whichever option you go for, there is no doubt it must have. So sometimes this dressing room is outside the passageway going to the toilet. So I'll show you some possible designs at the end of the slides. So the standard size of the closet should be around. There should be what you call a open area in between the two closets. It's about 3 feet for the people to get the clothes, or sometimes they use this space to dress or undress. So there is also sometimes there is also a modular system that you can buy at depots or supermarkets that you can that can fit into this space, or sometimes you can have it custom made specifically for your walk-in closet. So the possible dimensions or the recommended dimensions, if you have a hanger, it should be at least 1 meter from the floor, and another hanger should be another 1 meter. So that is the way you can divide the closet. No? So as you can see, this is 1.07, 1.07, approximately 1.14, and there's another 1 foot, that is 1 feet, it's 30 centimeters, so it's approximately 2.4 meters. No? The height of this closet is approximately 2.4 meters, which is the 8 feet. No? Why is it 8 feet? Because the standard size of a board is 8 feet. So that is so that there will be no excess boards after you build a cabinet. So a seating changing closet should at least have a distance of a 1.22. But for a as you can see, our changing rooms in department store or malls, it's approximately about it's about 2.5 feet only. It's about 2.5 feet. It's not more. It's not 3 feet. It's about 2.5, or sometimes it's 2 feet also. 2 feet the minimum. So this is a plan of a toilet with the master's bedroom. As you can see in the drawing, there is a door leading to the toilet, and there's another door leading to the walk-in closet or the closet space. So the layout of the toilet is not a regular shape. So there's a shower stall on the corner, a bathtub, what you call this, a sink, lavatory sink, and a utility cabinet. And this is what you call this, the water closet area. Okay, so it's enclosed. So another typical plan, you can see, the walk-in closet is inside the toilet, because when you enter the toilet area, there's a lavatory and there's the walk-in closet. So you need to go to the right side to go to the bathroom. This is the shower cubicle. This is the water closet, and this is the bathtub. So there are so many ways to design a toilet facility. So as you can see in the drawing, no, this is the components of a bathroom. So number one is the toilet. Number two is the bathtub. So there's an option to have a bathtub. So there is also a wash basin or a lavatory. There's also the tap, which is the faucets, and there is a shower. So some of the accessories is the hanger for the towel, and the plug hole is the drain. No? It's the floor drain, so that the water will be drained outside the shower or the main toilet. So there's also a bathroom cabinet for soap and shampoo, toothbrush, toothpaste. No? So sometimes the bathroom cabinet is where they put the water heater fixtures. No? So there's also a bathroom cubicle, no? Cubicle, no? in English. So the water closet are designed to receive the discharge of human excreta directly from the persons using it. So this is the water closet. The appliance is connected to soil pipe by means of a suitable trap. So there is a P-trap inside this water closet. It is usually connected to a flushing cistern to flush the toilet and discharge to human excreta to the soil pipe. There are three types of water closet, which is the Indian type, European type, and the Anglo-Indian type. We will discuss the three types later. So the inside of this water closet, inside the mechanism, it will differ depending on the brand, depending on the type, and the consumption of water will also differ depending on the brand and the type of the water closet. But these are all flushed with water, but sometimes there is water closet that is air flush. No, you use air to flush the human excreta. So that is common in airplanes and in buses. No? This is the different types of water closet. No? As you can see, this is the WC Health. This is a smart toilet. This is a toilet that is common in Japan and Korea. This is a two-piece toilet. This is common in the Philippines. No? There is a tank at the back. This is a one-piece toilet. This is more expensive than the two-piece toilet. This is a rimless toilet or a wall-hung toilet with the tank that is with the water that is being used is pressure. No? You use pressurized water, so the pressurized water is needed to flush the excreta in the water closet. So this is a squatty potty toilet for children. No? So these are the different types of water closet. So this is the Indian type, in which the water closet is flat or flat on the floor. So this is the Indian type. This is the European type of water closet, and this is the Anglo-Indian type of water closet. So now you know the different types of water closet. It will depend on the location that or the country. So if you have a client who is a Indian, most probably or most likely he will request for an Indian type of water closet. So toilet dimension and clearances, standard toilet fixtures, the standard depth of a toilet from the hinge to the edge is 16 inches. Okay, so or 40 centimeter. No, if you get an elongated model, it's likely to be more likely that's 18 inches. So if the dimension of the tank or the arrangement of the tank is making the total depth about 66 centimeter is or 74 centimeter. So as you can see in the section, this is approximately 65 centimeter from the edge of the tank to the edge of the rim of the water closet. So approximately 65 centimeter. The height of the tank is approximately maximum of 0.80 or 80 centimeter. The height of the rim of the water closet is about 42 centimeter, or 4.42 meters. So it is the standard height, fitted for a standard size person. So you can buy a special type of water closet if your if the person's using is above 7 feet, so you can buy a special type of water closet. And there's also a special type of water closet depending on of the weight of the person that will use the water closet. So make sure that you buy the type of water closet appropriate for the user. So if you will be designing a house or a residence or a toilet for a particular family, so make sure that you will buy the correct water closet for them. If they are a big family, we buy elongated water closet. If they are a small family, small height, you can buy a regular type. So you can select the different types of water closet in Home Depots or in what you call this markets, no, of plumbing, no, plumbing stores or shops. So another type of fixtures inside a toilet is the bathtub. Bathtubs are usually made of iron or steel coated with enamel or enameled porcelain or plastic material. So because we use iron as the secondary what you call this reinforcement, no, of the porcelain. No? Because the porcelain easily breaks. No? If a person is stepping on the bathtub, it might break. So they put wires or iron as part of the reinforcement. So they may also be made of cast or in situ concrete finish with marble chips or terrazzo, or else may be made of marble slabs properly joined at the side. So this is also sometimes they use a cast in place bathtubs. No, so you can create your own shape, create your own depth. No, bathtub it's like a small pool, but one problem is the leak. No, because of this is a cast in place. No, you might probably have leaks later on when the concrete expands or when you did not put enough waterproofing, no, on the bathtub. So the length is varying from 1.7 to 1.85 meters with the width of between 0.7 to 0.75 and the depth near the waist pipe varying from 0.43 to 0.45. So there are different types of bathtub. We have the pedestal, the clawfoot bathtub, drop-in bathtub, jacuzzi tub, recessed bathtub, and the corner bathtub. Okay, so those are the different types of bathtub. So in the what you call this, the components of a bathtub, it also have a P-trap for the drain. It has a supply of water. No, you need a supply of tap water. No, there is also an overflow in case the bathtub is overflowing. There's an overflow valve. No? So in some cases that you accidentally close the overflow, the bathtub will spill, no, on the floor. So this is the different type of bathtub. This is the clawfoot bathtub. As you can see, it's like a clawfoot. This is the pedestal. The clawfoot is the one that is holding the bathtub to the floor. It's a clawfoot design. There is also a pedestal bathtub. This is the common type of bathtub with different type of pedestal. There is a drop-in bathtub. No? This is commonly can be bought in depots. This is a jacuzzi bathtub. This is the corner bathtub and the recessed bathtub. Recessed bathtub. Okay. So bathtub dimension of clearances, the standard bathtub dimension in the smallest standard bathtub is 5 feet, no, or 2 by 2.5 feet, or 153 by 0.76. Okay, so this is the smallest standard bathtub. Okay, the bathtub location, you need to be able to reach the bathtub controls from the both sides and outside the bathtub. So they should be placed between the rim and the bathtub at 33 inches above the floor. So this is very crucial because if you will be using a island type bathtub which is isolated in the middle of a room, no, you need to make sure that the controls or the water supply of water is properly located. No? So you will definitely ask the owner to what type of bathtub, what is the manufacturer, what are the available faucets. No? So you need to lay it out on the floor before pouring concrete, so that the water lines and the drainage line are properly embedded in the concrete. So there is a recommended a bathtub clearance, which is about 0.76 recommended, and required is 0.53. About 0.53 is about 2 feet, no, or more than 2 feet. So this is the required clearance when you go down the bathtub. So in case that you are in an island bathtub, you need to make sure that the perimeter of the bathtub is a clearance of 2 feet, 2 feet perimeter clearance. So there's also the wash basin. A wash basin typically fixed to the wall or on a pedestal. Okay, so this wash basin is usually made of pottery or porcelain ware. This wash basin is not usually reinforced because nobody step on it, and it's usually hung on the wall. And sometimes it's reinforced on a countertop. No? So it's made of a porcelain enamel, cast iron, pressed steel, or sometimes stainless or plastic. Sometimes it's made of concrete. No, ordinary wash basin is mounted on the bracket fixed wall, while the pedestal basin is mounted on the pedestal rising from the floor. Although the pedestal basin is dependent on the pedestal, but to make sure, we also use a wall hang attachment and a pedestal at the bottom. So the pedestal laboratory, the pedestal accessory, is sometimes detached from the lavatory. So you need to make sure that if the pedestal is attached to the lavatory, it will be mounted on the floor. But if it's two component, which is the pedestal is accessory of the lavatory, you need to attach the lavatory to the wall, okay, by a bracket. So ordinary wash basin is, there are normally different types of shape and sizes. So it will depend on the owner, or sometimes it's made of a group of fixtures or group of designs. So the water closet comes with the lavatory, which is a pair, no? And what the model of the lavatory is the same as the model of the water closet. So in case that you get a long elongated water closet, you will get a bigger lavatory. Okay, so they're usually used in domestic and industrial purposes. So the height of wash basin depends on the height of the user, and it's usually about 750 to 800 millimeter above the floor level. So make sure that you install the lavatory in the proper height. No? So if you will install it above 800 millimeter, so make sure that the people that are using is tall. No? So if it's an average Filipino, we use 750 millimeter from the floor, and the P-trap or the drain, no, is about 750 is about 55 millimeter, 55 centimeter from the floor. That is the output of the floor drain of the drain. Okay, so the faucet will be depending on the type of faucet. No? Sometimes it's lavatory mounted. Sometimes it's what you call this is wall mounted. So this is a section of a lavatory. So sometimes, like this one, it's the drain is going to the floor, and sometimes the drain is in the wall. Okay, so this is there is also an overflow slot on the lavatory. So there is an overflow. So the water will go down to the P-trap, the bottle trap or the P-trap. Sometimes there is a supporting bracket around the lavatory in case. But now there is no more supporting bracket. But there are models that have supporting bracket. So this is the approximate height, which is 750 to 800 centimeter, or 75 centimeter to 80 centimeter. The top rim of the lavatory. So you measure it to the top rim of the lavatory, not on the bottom. No. So this is 75 to centimeter to the finished floor line, or 800. So there is different types. We have the ceramic metal, acrylic material, or integrated pedestal basin, or wash basin with full pedestal or with half pedestal, like this one. This is the full pedestal, this is the half pedestal. So we have the wall hang basin, we have the corner wash basin, and we have the tabletop basin. Sometimes it's round in shape. We have the under counter basin, like this one. This is the rim is above the counter. This is the rim, it is below the counter. So make sure that you memorize this type of different types of lavatory or wash basin. Okay. So the sink basin, lavatory, and vanity dimension and clearances. The standard vanity cabinet measures about 2 feet or 60 midpoint 60 or 60 centimeter deep. The standard wash basin, standard vanity height of the wash basin is around 30 inches or 70 centimeter to 80 centimeter. The height goes up to 1.1 or 119 centimeter. And the lowest most size will be the stoop to use the sink. So as you can see, the wash basin, no? The wash basin sometimes it's installed on a cabinet or it's all on it's like this one. This one under counter wash basin, no? Which is the bottom is a cabinet. So the cabinet width, no, is sometimes it's about 2 feet or more than 2 feet. Sometimes it's about to call this 75 centimeter. You're using a standard cabinet depth. So there is a recommended open space of about 0.80 in front of the wash basin, or about 0.5 or 2 feet, no, in front of a wash basin. So make sure that there is a clearance of 2 feet in front of a wash basin for the person to wash. And the average height is about 75 centimeter, and the average height of a person is about 6 feet, no, or 5 feet. So the top faucet usually is ball fitting, are usually recognizable by their type, no. So there is also a sink top which is mounted on a wall. There is also a top that is mounted on the top of the basin. And there is also a two-way beep cap where sometimes you put a water filter here, or you put hot water here, no? Or sometimes there is also a ball rotates lining. The difference also allow the pass. There's also what you call a ball valve, no? That controls the faucet. Sometimes it's not a ball valve. Sometimes it's a what you call this a screw type, no? With a what you call this in the Tagalog it's called sapatilla. It's a rubber that makes the water stop. No? It pushes the screw pushes the sapatilla to the point that the water will not penetrate will not pass through it. So there are different types of mechanism inside the top of the faucet. We have also the single handle or the dual handle. No? This is the dual handle, which is the we have a what you call this hot and cold. No? If there's a dual handle, this is hot, this is cold. Sometimes it's single handle, which is if you turn right, it's hot. If you turn left, it's cold. If you turn right, it's cold. If you turn left, it's hot. No, if you put it in the middle, it's tap water. It's a regular water, temperature. So it will differ. It will differ depending on the type of faucet. So we have also the type of showers. We have the square cubics, we have the rain 6 inches, we have the matrix and the continental. This is the way what we see commonly in toilets. No? But the upgraded toilets, they use a what you call the matrix, no? And they also have a rain shower. But this is a rectangular rain shower, no? As you can see, no? The shower is evenly distributed, no? On the toilet or shower cubicle. So we have the square rain shower, we have the round rain shower, we have the triangle rain shower, and the rectangle rain shower. So different types of shower panel. We have sometimes it's accompanied with a telephone shower like this one. The telephone shower, this is the what we call in the Philippines, or the hand shower we call in the abroad, no, in the US, or the rain shower with telephone shower or hand shower. This is the overhead shower, which you put a adapter, which will depend on the type of uh, or the configuration or shape of the rain shower, like this one. Okay. So the shower dimension, no, the shower smallest shower cubicle is about 0.8 by 0.8. This makes up to stand up, no. So it's 0.8 by 0.8, but it's a recommended clearance, no. In front of the shower should have a clearance of 0.4 or 0.7 in front of the shower. So the shower door is hinged, or sometimes it's a sliding. Okay. So the average height of a shower is about 1.9 meter. No? It's less than the height of a door. A door is about 2.1, so it's less than the height of a door. 2.1 is 1.9. Sometimes it's 1.3 in cases that this is a shower for children. Right? So the accessories inside the toilet, we have a towel rail, we have a towel rack, towel ring, we have a soap dish or a tumbler holder for the lavatory. We have a flash bulb, the corner shelf for putting a toothbrush, toothpaste. No? We have the toilet paper holder, and we have a robe hook. No? This robe hook is sometimes located at the back of the door, no? Near the water closet. Okay. So this is different types of rack. We have the towel hooks, no? Ayan, towel hooks. We have the towel ring. Okay. This is the different dimension of the towel ring. This is in centimeter. Okay. So we have the towel valleys, no? Like this one. And we have the towel racks, no? So the installation of a towel rack is usually about 2 point. Sometimes it's about near the what you call this 1.8 from the floor, or sometimes it's about 1.9 from the floor, depending on the design of the designer. So there is also plug hole, a hole of the lowest point of the bath or sink down. This is the plug hole. No? It is used to drain the water inside the toilet. There's also a bathroom cabinet. Okay, this is the bathroom cabinets, and there's also a shower cubicle. Okay, so this is the different of bathtubs. I will show you a more detailed dimensions of the different types of bathtubs. This is the claw foot, which is the, you can see at the bottom of the tub, there's a claw foot. No? This is a different dimensions of the bathtub. No? The width of this claw foot bathtub is about 755 millimeter, and the total length of the claw foot bathtub is about 1.5, 150 millimeter, 1,500 millimeter to 1,280 millimeter. So this corner bathtub is approximately about 1,600 millimeter, and the width is about 900 millimeter. So make sure that you ask the measurement of the bathtub that the owner will buy, so you can fit the specific type of bathtub inside the toilet. So this is a jacuzzi whirlpool type of bathtub. No? This is commonly used now in high-end residences. So the division of a bathroom, no, this is one thing that you should learn. No, you divide the bathroom into dry area and wet area. Okay, the dry area where you mainly the toilet is, no, and hence not much water. Okay, that is where you put the water closet. The wet area is where you wash yourself, splash water, which is the shower area. Okay, the dry area is where the main toilet is, with not so much water. The wet area is where you wash yourself, or the shower area. So this is the dry area, and this is the wet area. So that's why we put a shower enclosure or a shower curtain to make sure that this is a dry area all the time. Okay, so this is a and the dry area, you can use different type of flooring. You can use a wood. You can use semi-polished concrete for the dry area. But in the wet area, you will use a non-slippery material. But if this is a bathtub, so the bathtub will have a specific finish. But if you have a shower, so if you will buy a shower with the enclosure, so there's a specific material for the flooring of the shower. So make sure that you will know what type of shower enclosure that the owner will buy, what type of bathtub, so it will fit on the wet area. And sometimes the dry area is also divided in two parts, which is the water closet part and the sink part, as you can see in the drawing. Okay. So design principle: the bathroom must have sufficient space to use the bathroom, not space, and you have just a space for the fixtures. The door of the bathroom must be easy to move around, and there should be space for taking showers, taking clothes and off and on, and enough room space for the dry themselves. So you should have a proper storage, accessories like mirror and counter. So access to natural light if possible, and locate it efficient next to door above or below the other rooms using water such as bathrooms and kitchen and utility rooms. So you need to make sure that the bathroom is located on a wet area below. So if you will design a second floor, you make sure that the bathroom above is the bathroom above the second floor, the bathroom above the ground floor will not cause damage to the ground floor in case it will leak. So do not put the bathroom above a TV set or a stereo or something that is a dining table. So make sure that you move the bathroom on top, not directly to the dining table. Okay, so that is one rule in designing a bathroom. So you can put the bathroom on top of what you call this, a kitchen or a utility room, because the kitchen is also a wet area. So in case that it floods, so the kitchen is also a wet area, and sometimes we put a drain on the kitchen floor. Okay? So the minimum bathroom dimension, the full bathroom is about, in combination with the sink and toilet, it's about 1.5 to 2.4 millimeter. So this is the outside dimension. It's 1.5 by 2.4. In the Philippines, it's approximately 1.2 by 2.5. It's accepted. Okay, so this is a small bathroom. This is 1.8 by 1.8, a square bathroom. And this is a half bathroom, which doesn't have a shower, which is 0.91 by 1.22. A bathroom that doesn't. It is what you call a powder room. So we have a master's bedroom, master bathroom, public bathroom, transportation bathroom, small bathrooms, and Jack and Jill bathrooms. These are the different types of bathrooms. So the master's bathroom is usually located in the master's bedroom or a bedroom. They connect a bathroom to a bedroom. So it's a full bathroom containing 4 plumbing fixtures, which are the toilet, sink, bathtub, and shower. So this is a master's bathroom. Okay, so as you can see, the design is when you go inside, it's similar to the bathroom that we showed in the previous slide. So there is a water closet, what you call this, a bathtub, a shower, and 2 sinks, male and female. So we also have a Jack and Jill bathroom. It is the bathroom connected to 2 bedrooms. Okay, so this is the Jack and Jill. So it is you can access the bathroom from 2 sides. So it's a space saver. You can save money. You can save space. Okay. This is a public bathroom. So we see this usually in public areas like mall, restaurants. It has battery of water closets and sink. So and urinals for males. It may also have a janitor's closet or attendant's closet. And it's also designed for the disabled. And they put a cubicle designed for disabled. As you can see in the drawing, there's also a cubicle for disabled. There is there is what you call this, lavatories, no, there is a vanity for mirror, okay, a mirror for vanity. Okay. This is a transportation bathroom. We can see this in aircraft, and this is on a bus, you know, or a van. Okay, so this is very compact. As you can see, there's no shower in it. This is a Indian type water closet on a trains, no, trains or a what you call this, a bus. So this is a transportation bathroom. This is the water closet, Indian type. We have a louver door. No? This is the crank wheel for the flushing. We have the floor that is rubber. This number 6 is the water drain. We have the number 5, the lavatory or the wash basin. We have 2 for the grab rail. Okay? Because this is transportation, it's moving. So the summary, we have a toilet is a sanitation fixture used for disposal of human urine and feces. No? A bathroom is a room for personal hygiene, usually containing a minimum toilet, wash basin, and mirror, bathtub, or shower. So the components of a bathroom and a toilet is bathtub, wash basin, tub, shower, accessories, plug hole, bathroom cubicle, or bathroom cabinet. The design principle is sufficient space utilization, recommended natural light, appropriate storage and counter space, it should have privacy, easy to reach, and efficient location. So the different types of bathrooms, we have master's bathroom, Jack and Jill, public bathroom, small bathroom, transportation bathroom. So in different types of water closet, we have the Indian, European, Anglo-Indian. Different types of bathtubs, we have the clawfoot, whirlpool, pedestal, corner bathtubs, strap-in bathtubs, recessed bathtubs. We have the different types of sink, which is full pedestal, half pedestal, integrated pedestal, wall hang, corner, tabletop, and under over-counter sink. The principle of planning a toilet or a bathroom, which is we have the dry area and we have the wet area. The minimum bathroom area sizes, if it's a full bathroom, we have a 5 by 8 feet. If it's a small bathroom, we have a 6 by 6 feet. If it's a half bathroom, it's 5 feet by 3 feet. Layout of bathroom and toilet, bathroom with dressing, bathroom without dressing, and general public toilet. This is the plan with dimensions of a bathroom. No, this is for a residence. These designs were taken from a book. Okay, so this is a children's bedroom with a bathroom and a walk-in closet. This is a layout of a bathroom with dressing. So this is not my drawing. This is taken from a book. Okay. So this is a this is taken from architectural handbook. No? This is a, you can see the shower, no, the toilet fixture head, no, what the shower fixture head, and this is the what you call this, shower curtains. No? This is also a public toilet with the urinals, no, and water closet. This is for the male. This is for the female. You can see that there's also the dimension of the water closet. It's about the height of the urinal is about 60 or 2 feet. No? The height of the urinal. So this is a toilet. No, this is the handicap toilet for the disabled. This is the male toilet. This is the female toilet. There's a water janitor's closet. So this is also a sample of a public toilet. Okay.